form?
Uh, that's a great story. So first off, I got teamed up with Sawyer Fulton, who's Madman Fulton right now in Impact Wrestling,
Yeah.
and he got out of unstable, not on television but for house shows, by Sammy Callahan and Marcus Louis, and they tried to do the Sanity part with them, but Sammy decided to leave NXT because he was not happy anymore. And then Marcus Louis got released on one of those release deals, I think in January 2016. So with Sawyer was the thing that he was pissed about it. He was soured because it's again, it's nothing personal. When somebody gets released, it's a business,
No.
and you have to understand. But he was kind of soured because he was looking for an opportunity to do something, and they took it away. But they didn't took it away; they just paused it because they still want to have him for that group. But he had to find some different players. And then I was kind of floating around, tried to figure out what to do, and had some ideas. And they put me together with him. And I always try to be chameleon, just you put me on the white wall and turn white. Um, and then therefore we got teamed up. No, we got put together and we teamed up on the Coconut Loops, which are the smaller house show tour stops in Florida. That's why Coconut Loop. And it went well. He was the first match was kind of like nothing against you, dude, but I'm kind of like a Mark Child, so I do not want to do tag team moves because all of my tag team partners get taken out or released. So I don't care. So good. I just want to wrestle. And we had some matches and house shows against High Pros, Mojo Riley, and Matt Cardona. Now Matt Cardona, former Zack Ryder, and it turned out great. And then later on, in that time, our coach Adam Pierce, he came to us and said, "Guys, they like you as a tag team, so keep doing what you guys doing. The reports are great, and I know there's something coming, and you probably a part of that." Okay, sounds great. You're getting enthusiastic and everything. So, that means TV debut, whatever. So they put us together, and on one NXT TV date, I think it was the day where Eric Young debuted for NXT. He came out and challenged Samoa Joe for a title match, and he kind of like Eric Young got introduced to us by William Regal, so he put us together, said, "Fellas, this is Eric Young, this is Sawyer, this is Axel. So here's the idea, blah, blah, blah." And he just mentioned that Triple H has this idea about this group of psychos, and he wants to have the group like they are the guys in Smoking Aces. And I knew this movie and Sawyer as well and EY as well, but we talked about that later. So Smoking Aces, I don't know if that movie is familiar to you, but for the lads who's not familiar with the movie, it's kind of a movie about a hit. So a lot of like cleaners or like mercenaries need to kill somebody in the hotel, and he lives in the president's suite. And one of the guys who are required for the hit are the Tremor brothers, and the Tremor brothers are kind of like this kind of like skinhead punk trio brothers who are totally out of their mind and being total psychos, and probably could use a silencer on the gun. No, they go in with a freaking shotgun and a rocket launcher just to kill one dude in the kitchen, but they blow up the entire casino or the entire restaurant, kind of that. And of course they get shot and get stabbed and whatever, but worth it, kind of, I believe. So this is great scene where they have like geared up in the elevator with like every kind of, one guy goes in with a chainsaw and I don't know, and he wanted to have those guys. They're fighting each other if necessary. It's like freaking redneck syllables, and I don't know,
hillbilly, just craziness,
hillbilly fucks. So, and he wanted to have like a stable like this. Okay, it sounds great. So we started like making gear, starting out just creating this image and whatever, like how we would act like. And they did not give us any direction besides be like the Tremor brothers. So we tried to figure out what could we do. But inside the rulebook of WWE, so you cannot, just do something to the official, or you cannot just go nuts because every time they tell you, yeah, but you have to stay inside the rules because also you want to win the matches. So it was pretty hard in the beginning. But before we debuted, I remember the TVs, we had everything ready. And then Nikki came to us. And since he's there in NXT, I was friends with Damo at that time. Before like WWE, and still friends with him, one of my best friends. But I know Nikki is his fiance. So I was taking care of her, just have a look, and also from a different culture as well. And she got culture shocked and homesick really bad. So kind of like, just taking care of her in the way like, hey, just give her some advice, what I did, etc., etc. So we always toured together as well because, there was already a good group connection there with her. And she told us like, hey, I'm a part of the group. We kind of, yeah, just, bullshit around. I was just, yeah, just fuck with us. Good, cool. No, you get your check. No, guys, I'm serious. I'm with you. Debuted. I was really, fuck yeah, that's great. Because we saw right away the picture of it, like the entire Psychos. And I remember Triple H described it as the best. Everybody's like holding guns in their faces, right? So kind of imagine the situation. We kind of like playing around. Should I pull the trigger? Should I pull the trigger? And she's the person, takes the gun out of the hand. Boom.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, why are you waiting? Let's go. Kind of, she eventually is the person who pulls the trigger. We said, that's a fucking great idea.
And she elevated that group so well, and the characters that you guys played, because you weren't all just being. And I think in a lot of cases, they put a group of people go out and be psycho killers, and they all go out and act the same way, but obviously talking their own way. You were different in a lot of ways because you were just like that little, that look of like, holy shit, this motherfucker actually could be crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what wrestling is, right? And a lot of people do. But when I would see you in that ring, like coming down the ring, I used to sit there and go, holy shit, this motherfucker could have like a couple of screws loose. And to be able to take someone like me out of the element and to believe in that moment, like, fuck, like the whole package of Sanity to me was one of the best stables put together in recent years, really, because everyone had a different part of that role and it all meshed well.
Even like so Sawyer Fulton, he got injured after we did our big stage debut NXT takeover for the pre-show, and he got injured there by doing the double team finish. He tore his he tore his pec. Ooh. And again, like devastating, and they took him out of the group because they mentioned we cannot stop right now. We have to go. We cannot wait till we would drop it. It has to go right now. So they took him out the crew. It was bitter for him. It was not cool, and we all just been kind of like bummed out from that. But his replacement in the end was Big Damo. So back in the day, Killian Dane, and with him in there was a great another part of it, and total difference towards like Sawyer's character. So everybody had their own character. With that being said, it was a great group, especially like with Nikki. You had this you had this female part in the group who's not really just being like diva-like female. The first intention was the debut. Let's hide it. Let's hide it that she's a female as best as possible. So she had to go to Walmart, buy yourself some baggies, buy yourself a big hoodie, a zipper, whatever, bandana. We all came out with a bandana just to hide ourselves. And then it was not the plan just to keep it on the entire time, but then it stick to the whole character and to the whole thing. Like anarchist, you would be in the riots, or you cover your face, that police cannot disguise you and everything. And then with Nikki, the part was great because I remember the debut we had when she attacked Dillinger, Ty Dillinger, now Sean Spears, and just pounded on him, and you had to pull her off, and she was going again. And then EY as the leader just is the guy who was able to kind of control the uncontrollable. So the dynamic between us was awesome. And then also when Damo came in, you had this beast from Belfast, right? This guy who grew up in the riot time of Ireland, Northern Ireland. So, and he'd been around there as well and do his part. And also, he could wrestle. That was the other thing. You could put him in a match. He always would put his salt and pepper on it, so it would work. And it was the entire fun of the whole deal. It took time because I remember on one television taping, Sawyer and I, we got not really in trouble, but we got kind of like pulled to the side, and they told us, hey, you guys have to, wrestle like psychos, not like wrestlers. Forget the resting part. Because if I remember, Triple H was a bit furious that I wrestled too much, and I love wrestling. I'm good in wrestling, doing holds and stuff and transitions and catch wrestling. That's my thing. But like, it was kind of like Alexander Wolf is a psycho. Yeah, I would probably take a finger and try to break it, but I would not go around and just put you down in a nice takedown and just be crisp and clean and smooth and whatever. I would basically